Welcome to the Schuman Show! It is so great to be here with you tonight on what is a very special week, of course, because we are about to enter that very special time of the year. I am, of course, talking about the European elections. Okay, the front of the audience is excited about that. Come on, guys, it is the Olympics of MEPs. If, it was an Olympic sport, of course, it would have about the same viewership as clay pigeon shooting, I guess. But it is very important that I'm sure as a room full of committed Europeans, you're all registered and ready to vote, right? Oh, thank God for that. Because, of course, we all know what the polls say. They project the rise of the far right, and apparently they're getting organized. In fact, instead of fighting each other, they are making overtures to each other. You heard, right, that Marine Le Pen is opening up to Giorgia Meloni, which is expected, correct? What I was a little shocked to hear was that Ursula von der Leyen is also open to working with her. That one is a little bit concerning, but I guess we've got to hand it to Georgia. She is showing that female politicians do some things better, whether that's crisis management, coalition building, or fascism. It is, of course, not the only election on the horizon. Rishi Sunak announced that his country is going to be holding elections on the 4th of July. Yes, a very, very auspicious date symbolizing the overthrow of a tyrannical power. But enough about the Conservative Party. This is, of course, Labour's time to shine. And all it took was Brexit, a pandemic, the complete collapse of the UK economy. Good luck to you, Labour. Well, meanwhile, closer to home, the Dutch have finally picked a new prime minister, Dick Schoof. Oh, I'm surprised at that reaction. I thought that, all things considered, not getting Geert Wilders would be a good thing. I mean, he's a career politician, a career civil servant, ex-intelligence chief. First time we can actually say that Geert Wilders' dick pic is not actually that bad. Meanwhile, in more somber news, of course, the war in Gaza is entering its 8th month. And a little bit distressingly, we have seen that the EU does not have a united response to the indiscriminate killings of civilians. So Europeans took to discuss the matter in the only debate where foreign policy matters. Of course, I'm talking about the Eurovision Song Contest. As if it wasn't controversial enough to have Israel participate, organizers of the Eurovision decided to ban European flags and did not let the Dutch contestant Joost Klein perform, presumably for being a walking European flag himself. Israel did top the televote as well, which organizers took about as seriously as Israel takes the rulings of the International Court of Justice. And the win was given to Switzerland in what must be called the most neutral move in the history of neutrality. Meanwhile, we have had the recognition of the state of Palestine by Ireland, Norway, and Spain. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Of course, Israel was not so happy about that. Their foreign minister tweeted that the days of the Spanish Inquisition are over. But I think we can all agree this is the one time that they should have expected the Spanish Inquisition. What else has happened? The Iranian president was killed in a helicopter accident. Surprisingly, it wasn't a Boeing. We still don't know why this accident occurred, but the lead theory is that he made a joke about Vladimir Putin. The Slovak prime minister was also shot several times in the streets. Surprisingly, not the streets of Brussels. Oh, yes. Those dangerous Brussels streets, you never know what's going to happen. This city that's not just famous for being the European capital, but for mystery and secrecy. And that is what our first sketch is about. Please enjoy the Schuman Show.